A very good evening and welcome back to West Ham Unofficial. I hope you will join me for a match preview for West Ham versus Everton. I'm back from my cruise now. We came back a little bit earlier today. I haven't had much Wi-Fi, so I don't really know what's happened. Nigel, have I missed anything over the last week? What's happened?
Well, we lost 2 games. Basically, we lost to Villa. We lost 2 games. We lost to Villa heavily, and then we went and got beat by Olympiacos and lost our unbeaten record. So maybe you should have stayed on the cruise a little bit longer, mate.
Maybe I should have done. Maybe because it was going on a 2-week cruise. Maybe I should have just stuck on there. Oh my god! So we got battered by Villa, and then we lost our 17-game unbeaten run. Did Moyes have a plan B in any of those games?
Well, I'll start first with the Olympiacos defeat. I mean, luckily, I don't so much money going to all the European games last year, and I had 2 tickets for this game, but couldn't get their work commitments and other things. And I'm so glad I didn't go, because as soon as I saw the team, I thought, what are you doing? You're picking a team of second string players who can't make the first team against basically a team that have been in Europe for the last 20 odd seasons and have been Greek champions for most of that time. So, what was he thinking?
It was lunacy, I watched the Villa game. That wasn't good at all. I didn't watch the Olympiacos game, but I thought, should I watch it? Should I not? As soon as I saw rings up front, I went, I'm definitely not going to watch it because it will just aggravate me even more. A frustrating week, which now leading into this game, we're on Super Sunday with a build up to the Manchester derby. We're an hour early. Everything's, the clocks are going forward and back, and the Super Sunday times are different. So we're at a 1 o'clock kickoff live at the London Stadium tomorrow. And all of a sudden now, talking this time last week ahead of the Villa game, we were quite positive. Now all of a sudden, we need to win this game, Nigel.
Well, do you know what I was only saying to someone last week? They were saying about West Ham. I said, well, I'm happy. I said, we're 7th in the Premier League and we're top of our group in Europe. And then it's just all gone pear-shaped over the last week. I mean,
yeah, 7 days.
I can't get my head around it. I've got lots to say about the players. I mean, they were shocking the other night, absolutely shocking against Olympiacos. And I mean, I made the trip to Villa. Great band before, great band playing some ska music and outside. I was a right good time. And then, went into the ground, and then that's when
it went downhill.
It went downhill from there. Our fans were pretty good to start with, and we started the game all right. And I thought, we're going to do all right, and then it just went to pieces. It was awful.
Yeah. I think just from the Villa game, I think it was fine margins. At 2-1, we had a really good chance to level things up to make it 2-2, and that's a completely different game. The ball was drilled across the front of goal. I think it was Bowen or somebody at the back post. If he gets his, toe on that and it goes and it's 2-2, it's a completely different game. But we were really, really poor, especially in that second half. And the astounding factor of it for me was that there was no plan B. Moyes didn't know what to do. And that's the worrying thing. And I said to Dad after the Villa game, I said, so far this season in quite a few games, we've either scored early, which has helped us, or we've scored first in the game. Now, one thing I've noticed, if we concede first in a game, we really struggle. In recent times, we've struggled to get back into it and get a goal, and we've almost chucked all of our eggs into we're going to score from a set piece. And when that doesn't pay off, we look stumped, Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, we was all out of ideas. I mean, I don't like slating the players off, to be honest. And, Antonio was so bad last week. He was so bad. It was like watching a Sunday league footballer. And I don't know why he didn't change it then, and we just didn't do anything. We didn't look like scoring. There was, I can't remember who it was. I think it's their number 22. I can't remember who it was. He's strolling for us. And I think he might have been a centre-back or a centre midfielder, but he was strolling for us. And he looked so good against us. It was unreal. And I thought, God, the mid was non-existent in the midfield. They came through time and time again. And let's be honest about it, they could have had 5 or 6 goals last week, Villa.
Yeah.
They was quicker to the ball. They was faster than us. And with Ollie Watkins up front, he's a great striker. And, yeah, we was well beaten last week, well beaten.
We certainly were. With our attention now turning to an Everton side that have had an indifferent start to the Premier League campaign. They've been really, really poor in some instances. In a couple of games, they've pulled themselves out of the bag. Sean Dyche's Everton, sorry. They're a strange side where there's a looming rumour of a 12-point deduction due to FFP that is looming over their heads currently. But putting that to the side, what have you made of them so far at the start of this season, Nigel?
They're one of them teams, aren't they? I mean, who did I see them beat? They knocked 3 past someone a while ago. Decore scored, I think, a couple. Oh my God, remember him scoring. But
Bournemouth, they beat 3-0.
They look like they can score goals, and they look okay. But then again, they're not getting the results. But I think also they've got a fair few players out. I was reading somewhere they had 3 or 4 players out tomorrow injured. Well, I don't know who they are. I haven't really looked into it. But yeah, I mean, they're a funny team, aren't they? I mean, they always seem to pull something out against us, don't they? I remember going up there and us losing 2-1. I think Sigurdsson scored. Then we had 1-0 last season, I think it was. And they're one of them teams that, they're a bogey team, aren't they? A bit like Brighton. And I can't, I think we'll beat them tomorrow, but we got to play better than we have been playing.
They're a side that wouldn't surprise they popped up and put a couple of passes. They're a dangerous side and they pulled out some results, but they have let's look at where they are currently. They've lost 6 of their opening 9 games so far this season. They've only won 2. They've drew the other one. They've played a game. Of course they played a game less than Bournemouth, Burnley, Sheffield United, who have played today. I mean, Sheffield United at the foot of the table with just 1 point on the board after 10 games. Sheffield United, Burnley, Luton, Bournemouth and Everton, the bottom 5 have all been pretty dreadful at the start of this season so far. So at the end of the day, if we put to the side what's happened in the last 7 days, this is a game at home we should be winning. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, we've got to win these games at home, especially against teams like Everton. I mean, Burnley as well. I mean, Burnley, they're going to be one of them teams. Every time I've been to Turf Moor, we've got beat. Well, due up there in a couple of weeks, I think it's next week or whatever. But yeah, Everton, I mean, I just got this horrible feeling about that team, I think that we're the sort of team that lose 2-0 when Calvert-Lewin score. And, he's having a mare, but if you're having a mare, you've got to play, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Right, let's
take some defence as well. We don't know who's in defence from 1 week to the next.
It's certainly switching it around. Let's see who we have got in the chat. Avian Therapy Villa TV, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Terry Newsham, I hope you are well. The cruise was very good. It was very good indeed. Terry says Antonio was bad last Sunday, always ropey when he comes back from international duty. Yeah, he played cut against for Jamaica and came back and he looked like he'd rather be anywhere but there. To be honest with you, it was not a good afternoon and there was no let's take him off, let's move things around. It was just let's try and keep going, but it is what it is. It's gone now. Terry says JC, talk to me about the Daytona event. Right, so the Nigel, get this right, so the cars, what they called, so like in the arcade, the racing cars, like the F1 cars. So they've got these on the ship, right? And we had a bit of an event. So we had 5 games, and coming into the last day, which was yesterday, it was 2-2 between me and Dad. He won 2 races, I won 2 races. To be fair, it had been a miraculous comeback from 2-0 down from me to get it to 2-2 for the final day. So we're coming around the last straight, right? Neck and neck, just budging out of the way. And neither of us knew who'd won until it came up on the screen. Unfortunately,
You don't want to know about what's going on in the side of the joke.
Unfortunately, I gave him the victory just to, give him something to talk about. I gave him the victory, but yeah, that's the end of that. It is a big one tomorrow, that is for sure. Yeah, we are, Terry. Yeah, we are. Are you going tomorrow, Terry? Nigel, it seems like absolute chaos in your living room.
No. Well, it's something that was brought out of the loft from my mum's house ages ago. It's a big remote controlled Dalek. from the years ago. And anyway, I was seeing if it worked
Anyway.
earlier because it's like a vintage thing's worth quite a lot of money. And it switched on, and it's been like walking around a room terrifying the dog and stuff. And yeah, and then I forgot to switch it off, and I just knew something like that would happen during this. I haven't got Davros sitting in the front room or anything. So
there we go. Anyway, yeah, in terms of we were just discussing Everton, and the fact is they keep popping up and beating the odd side, and I agree with you. I've got a feeling that it just wouldn't surprise if they popped up and surprised us, and I think it's just key that he puts the right players in the right positions. And I've been a little bit frustrated by him chucking, he's persistent in chucking Paqueta out to the left-hand side, which is irritating me because that's not his position. I know he wants to, incorporate Souček in there as well, but Souček scored goals, but has he had the effect that Paqueta will in midfield? No, that's just obvious. But he won't drop Souček. That's just out of the equation. So Paqueta has to go out to the left, which is causing more problems. And Kudus can't get into the side. There's players that have to start in Moyes' mind, which is holding us back. Once again, Moyes' selection is holding us back because Souček, should he be in this midfield? Maybe clinging on just about. Will he be? Definitely. But it's to the detriment of getting Kudus into this side and getting Paqueta back to his normal position. Do you agree, Nigel?
Yeah, I do. I mean, Luke has been frustrating me lately with he does some fantastic things with the football, but I just wish he'd do them where it's not going to hurt us.
Yeah.
Many times this guy's giving away possession and puts us in right trouble. He's a fantastic footballer, but he does do some stupid things, and he does them in the wrong places. And Kudus is the same. Against Villa last week, he came on, he looked all right, and then, we're 2-1 down, we get a chance, and then he gives it away right in the middle of the park, and boom, they go through and score. So we've got to stop giving away sloppy balls because we've been doing a lot of that lately, and some of our flair players are guilty of it. So yeah, stop giving the ball away.
But at the end of the day, the way I look at that, it was poor from Paqueta. He should have never put, was it who was it? Alvarez in a really poor position, and then the penalty. Look, I thought the penalty was soft, but it was a penalty at the end of the day. But the issue I have with it is, why is our attacking flair player with his back to the goal we're trying to score in, deep into our own half, picking up the ball and then passing it back to Alvarez, who's deep in our own box? I mean, it just, the whole situation and how those players got there in that position, and the decision making to pass the ball back to Alvarez in that position, all of it was just wrong. And hopefully, it's been sorted out, because it just seemed like a bit of a shambles, the whole situation.
It's bad positional play. It's bad position. Yeah. It's positional sense, and the players think they can just go. I mean, Paqueta thinks he can just run all over the pitch. I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, he shouldn't have been back there. Alvarez, do you know what? I think he's been a fantastic signing for us. He does love a yellow card, but do you know what? What a footballer! If you watch his game, he's so good at defending that back four. I say, Paqueta, he should stay out the other end. As far as I'm concerned, he should start in the end of the picture. He's good. I don't like seeing him back there, because I always start getting kittens when he's got the ball with his back to him. That he's going to try some sort of back heel or a turn, and it's either going to go one way or the other. He's not got a defensive bone in his body, really, is he? He's like he's always looking to sort of tackle and go forward, and
And that's why I'm hoping that Paqueta is being encouraged to stay, to stay north of that halfway line, because he has, not in recent games, but in a couple of occasions, I can recollect him losing the ball in a dangerous area, trying to be a bit too flash or trying to be a bit too clever about things, and losing it, and it has cost us. He's a brilliant player. He's a luxury player, but sometimes he just hasn't got that switch that I'm going to lump it up here, which is our instinct. If we're in trouble, just get rid of it, lump it up. But his instinct to try and play your way out of it. And last week it cost us. And yeah, I'm just a little bit fearful of this Everton side popping up, playing the perfect game, nicking a 1 or 2-0 win and sneaking out quietly. I've just got a feeling that that's the way it'll go, unfortunately. And Emerson's out with a card suspension. So what would you do if you were Moyes? Creswell in at left back, or shift it around a bit and put Johnson or Kehrer at left back? What would you do, Nigel?
I would not put Johnson in.
No.
If my life depended on it. Neither would I put Kehrer at left back, because at left back I saw him have the worst ever game of his career against Leeds at left back. He's not a left back. You play a left back, then you play Creswell. That's what I would do. I'd rather have left back. I'd rather have anyone there apart from Johnson and Kehrer at left back.
If Creswell's not up to it, if he's not fit enough or whatever, or if Moyes just doesn't want to play Creswell, I would prefer him to shift Soufal to left back and then put Kehrer at right back, because Kehrer can't play left back. Soufal's played left back a couple of times, and he's passed the job. He's been okay, he hasn't been fantastic, but he can do the job there. I just feel if you put Johnson or Kehrer there, you're asking for trouble. And I don't know whether they've got pace down their right hand side, but Creswell, the games he's come in hasn't filled me with any confidence in, towards the back end of last season and this season so far. I mean, he picked up that injury, didn't he, Creswell? And we haven't seen him since. And he was really poor in that half of football where he picked up that injury in Europe. So I think I'd expect Creswell to come in, but if Creswell's not there, then I fear, Nigel. I fear.
I think the trouble is with Creswell. A few years ago, he was a superb left back, and he'd bomb forward and get crosses in. But since, I don't know, the last couple of years, he just don't get forward like he used to. And he's never been the best defender, but he used to be able to, he used to have a lovely delivery, and he'd get down the line, and especially when I think it was Payet, he used to be in front of him a lot of the time, wasn't it? And he used to link well with him, but at least with Emerson, I wasn't keen on Emerson at first. But do you know what? When a bloke gets the ball, he tries to go forward. He makes things happen, and he'll have a go at goal. He'll get the ball in. He links up well with Paqueta. But Creswell, like I say, he's our only left back, really, isn't he? They should start putting the youngsters in, but I don't know what you're going to do.
That ain't going to happen. That ain't going to happen. Right, let's scroll up.
Look at the youngsters. It's ridiculous. Mama, what was it last week? What has he got to do to get in the team?
Yeah, and the question that we all sit here and we've all asked it, and especially in that game, and I know some people may argue midweek in Greece, quite a daunting and hostile atmosphere. You couldn't have chucked Mubama in. I've heard that from some people, but quite literally, what worse job could he have done than Danny Ings? I didn't even watch the game, but I can imagine exactly what he did. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I watched
Danny Ings against Lincoln and Lincoln. Yeah. And he couldn't even get on the score sheet against Lincoln. And do you know what? Look, if you're a goal scorer like Mubama is, he knows where the goal is. It's a football pitch. They're all the same size, the pitches. You're playing football. Whether there's a crowd there or not, what's the difference?
Yeah.
What is the difference? Do you know what I mean? I'd be chomping at the bit if I was him. I'd be thinking, I want to get out there and play in Europe. And then you'd try, wouldn't you? Ings just, well, maybe it ain't his fault, Maybe he's just not set up to play for West Ham, but I don't know. I would have given Mubama a shout rather than Ings.
It's ridiculous, I've got no idea, but I can't imagine Ings is being paid, not a lot of money. I can imagine he's on probably 100 grand a week, Danny Ings.
I'll tell you what. 25 grand.
Is he? So I'll tell you what, he is nicking a living. If I was in charge, I'd release him in January. He has been absolutely pathetic. At the stages, anybody in that squad could go, flipping, you just well put Fabianski up front. He'd do a better job than Ings, because all he does, he walks around, all gets in there and puts a foot in. He does, honestly, I can't even explain what he does, because he does nothing, right? He has absolutely no impact on, all he's done is score 2 goals against Nottingham Forest, which, to be fair, was a game that we needed to win. He scored 2 goals in 2 minutes against Nottingham Forest. That's all he's done. That is all he's done. And there's been too many games where we've come on here afterwards and said, well, Danny Ings came on and did nothing. As soon as Danny Ings came on, our attacking threat went. I mean, it's just so infuriating to see a young, really energetic youngster sat on the bench doing everything right, scoring goals in the under 23s league and, coming on and having some energy, having him sat on the bench to have 34-year-old Danny Ings just loiter about.
Do you remember when Pellegrini gave Declan Rice that debut, right? And Moyes never played. Rice was there when Moyes was there. And then I think Pellegrini gave him the start, wasn't it? I think he gave him the start. And then
against Burnley away.
And then Rice built his reputation. And when Moyes came back, Moyes was like, oh, you've improved, didn't you? And then started playing him up. Do you think if Moyes had still been there, Declan might not have even got a shout in the team? So this is what I think with Mbama.
Just hope the guy gives him a chance. Right, I'm going to take some comments of a few to get through. Lone Star London, it's a big one tomorrow. It's certainly a central text, but I'm sure it's very hot there. 86 degrees. Is that in Fahrenheit, or is that that'll be in, because they do it in Fahrenheit over there, don't they, in America? So that's not 86 degrees Celsius, is it? That's ridiculous. Surely not. That is. Yeah, whichever way, that is hot. That is hot. I think it is chucking it down for here in sunny Somerset. It's absolutely chucking it down. Peter, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Terry says we missed number 41 last Sunday, first time since he left by my reckoning. Souček wasn't at the races, and this is the issue we've got with this midfield, is if Souček goes back to his old self, Moyes still ain't going to drop him, because he didn't drop him last year when he was absolutely crap. If we're going to be honest about it, he just didn't drop him, did he, when he was crap? If Souček, and let's just hypothetically, if Souček goes back to that now, he's had his little spurt and he goes back to that, we've got Alvarez and Ward-Prowse currently in that central midfield along with Souček. Are they, are we then worse? I mean, we've talked about how good our midfield's been, but Souček's been holding his weight in there. If Souček stops holding his weight, which I fear he might do, then we need to get Paqueta back in there, because the legs, they're just not there.
Yeah, our midfield, it's been a bit wishy-washy. We don't quite know what the midfield should be, do we? I mean, like the forwards, we're a team of we don't quite know what our team's going to be every week. It doesn't seem to be, we don't know who's best in what position. It's been like that for a while now. We've been winging it, to be fair. At the beginning of the season, we winged it. We defended well and got a few goals, but we can't play like that the rest of the season. We'll finish in the bottom half if we keep playing like we did last week. I don't think Souček's been playing all right, scoring goals, but again, last week he just went back into that lull. And it seems when we go behind and we're 2-0 down, everyone gives up, and that's what happens. And what are we going to do?
Yeah, nothing we can do. Right, let's take some comments. Mark, thank you very much indeed for the £10 donation to the channel. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much indeed. And he's been a member of the channel for 10 months. I didn't know all this would save, so yeah, that's saved. So Mark, thank you very much indeed for that. That is greatly appreciated as well. Thank you for your support. And everyone else watching, before we carry on, drop a like on the video and subscribe to West Ham Unofficial if you haven't already. It greatly helps the channel. Got our channel membership back up and running again, and click the join button to see all of the different perks and tiers of membership that we offer, and I will get the membership content up and running this week for our members that have joined us. For you, thank you for that. Right, a couple of comments before we carry on. Where did I get to? Honestly, just talking about West Ham, I need to go on holiday again. Get me on another holiday. It's stressing me out. It's absolutely stressing me out. Everton will boss the midfield. Can't you see that Onana geezer, who we were supposed to sign, coming up and playing an absolute stormer and dominating our midfield tomorrow?
Well, you got him and Decore, haven't you?
And Decore. That's a big
they're both really strong. Do you know what? When he was at Watford, I think it was, I thought, what a player. We could sign him. Could have signed him really cheap. He's a good footballer, him. And that's it. And he's a very, very strong player. And, Decore and Onana up against, James Ward-Prowse is not good. He's a tiny bloke, isn't he, Ward-Prowse, when you would compare him to them. And, they're powerful blokes. And I think we could struggle there in the midfield tomorrow. I really do.
Yeah, no, I agree. See, this is my worry, and I agree with Helen. Helen says Creswell won't be match fit. We saw how rusty Cornet was the other day, with Fornals and Benny the same, with not a lot of game time. In the games so far this season that haven't been the Premier League, our lack of squad. It's not squad depth; it's squad quality. Has really shone through and been exposed. I mean, all of those players that played on Thursday night, most of them that don't play week in, week out, got exposed. For now, you could just name them all, can't you? Ogbonna's not good enough anymore. He's making too many mistakes, unfortunately. Fornals is not good enough. Ben Rama's not good enough. Cornet is not good enough. It's not a fact of squad depth, Nigel, because we've got the players, but the players that are there, they're just all out of form and just not very good at the moment.
You can see why Moyes. It totally justifies Moyes' decision not to play him the other day. Ben Rama, like you say, Ben Rama. Cornet is what the other day. The other day when we had the ball was in the ascendancy. It was the last. It was in injury time. We get the ball in their half. Plays the ball over the top, and he couldn't even bring it down and hold the ball. And that just, I was like, that's it. Do you know what I mean? That's finished him. We give the ball away all the time and just bad control. Benrahma, he's not. He's so slow. He's weak on the ball. He's slow. He's predictable. He does the same thing all the time. Not say Cornet, just not good enough. Fornals, I really used to like Fornals. Well, not to say I don't like him. He's a great guy, but
it's a struggle to support him, isn't it? It's a struggle. Yeah,
he was on the verge of the Spanish team when he had a while ago, and then suddenly he's just. But then again, is that lack of game time? Is it lack of confidence, or is it he was very pro West Ham, and he's always coming forward about how much he loved West Ham. You don't hear it anymore because maybe Deck's left, and and he's looking. It's a different team now, and
trouble with Fornals is that when he was and he was brilliant for that sort of season. I thought he was absolutely excellent. He was coming out with all the right things, going out of his kid singing Bubbles and all the rest of it, and that's the things we like to hear. But he's come out vocally and he's spoken about his disapproval and disagreement to the amount of game time he's had in the last year. Moyes gives him a game and he is just being he's been crap, and then you go, so what are you expecting? Because the games that the game time he does get, he has no impact, and he's just been incredibly ineffective. So he's criticizing Moyes by saying, you're not giving me enough game time, Moyes, but he's not really paying him back by going, look, this is what I can do, because he's just been poor, as of the rest of the players. And it also creates a factor of those players that are there in that team are getting a little bit comfortable. They're slouching around a bit. Antonio, he's looking at going, well, he ain't going to bring Danny Ings in over me, is he? So I ain't got nothing to worry about. Antonio's got a little bit too comfortable. A few other players, I think, have got just a little bit too comfortable in their positions because the players that are behind them are not performing in games against Lincoln, in games in Europe. And that's the fundamental worry we've got going into Thursday, Sunday football that is coming thick and fast now.
Well, you've got to look at Fornals. I mean, Fornals has been put in a team the other day with other players that are not getting game time, who are poor, the likes of Cornet and Ings. So he's going to look crap, isn't he? Because look, he's got playing with him. I mean, if you've had Deck playing with him or something, and like Paqueta and a decent centre forward, and it might be different. But they just all looked bad the other day. I can't keep going on about the other day because I can't believe when the team come out, I was that shocked that my mate has texted me and said, "Have you seen the team?" I looked at it, I thought, how disrespectful can you be putting that team out against Olympiacos? And
it was awful. I could understand starting Mavropanos in that game, because he might have had a little bit of knowledge about the Greek side, or the way that they play, or the sort of atmosphere and what it's going to be like. But start Zuma as well. I mean, Ogbonna was at fault for the goal, but start Zuma or Agurd alongside Mavropanos. Start one of them. And a couple of other players. And I looked through it and I went, he's rested a lot of players then. And I came back and saw we were 2-0 down. And I was like, with that lineup you've put out with Ings up front, we aren't going to score goals easily, are we? Absolutely not. And it was a brilliant goal from Paqueta at the end. A little too late in the end, but it is what it is.
We could have got something. We could have got something. You've got to retain the ball. You can't that corner incident was the icing on the cake for me. We just got back into it. We've got 2 or 3 minutes left. Ball's in the ascendancy. It just miscontrols it and lets it go out for a goal kick, and that's it. Then they're going to kick the ball for that. So that is poor. That is so poor.
It is. It is. Our resident Spurs fan has joined us. David, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Villa, we love you, babe. We're just worry about Spurs because it's all going to start going downhill soon when you play some decent teams, Dave. So just worry about Spurs, all right? I tell you what, I had a little look at Spurs' fixtures, and they might still well be top of the league in April. But in April, they've got Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal all in a month. So it's all going to go downhill then.
Yeah, but it's us. We thought we was going to struggle, didn't we? We thought, oh no, look at our beginning of the season. Then we come out of it flying, and then we play Villa. We should have beaten Villa on paper, and it's just we've got these games. I mean, Brentford beat Chelsea today, didn't they? We've got to go there in next week. Yeah. Burnley. I mean, these are teams we've got to be winning these games. Everton, we've got to be beating them. We've got to be beating Burnley, and we've got to be getting something at Brentford, who haven't been good of late. So if we don't,
and the issue is if we don't pick up 3 points tomorrow, we've got a really never-ending fixtures. We've got Arsenal in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday. We then go to Brentford away, where historically we don't have a fantastic record after playing midweek. Nottingham Forest at home, all of a sudden that comes a must win again. Then we go to Burnley away after the international break, where we haven't got a great record there. All of a sudden then we're into December, So we've got to win this game. For me, got to win. We've got to win. Gary says, I've got to say, if we have a crap game tomorrow, I'm really going to start thinking it's time for him to go. No chance for youth players who are not Moyes players. He's got to just unstubbornize himself. That's not a word, but it is now. That's the only word that can describe this with Moyes here, is that he's got to get in his head that these fringe players aren't good enough, which probably means the first team players are going to have to play a bit more. But he's got to put a bit more respect on these games. I mean, there's been a bit of complacency, from my opinion, in the Europe games so far. He has made a lot of changes in all of the European games so far this season. Whether it's complacency or whether he thinks he can get through it playing a B team. We had a wake-up call on Thursday night. We've had our streak, 17 games, that's gone now. City are going to break that next week when they play Young Boys. They'll go past it, so we're not going to hold on to the record for long unless Young Boys beat Man City, which I doubt they will. But anyway, I think it's an issue where we need a pick-up tomorrow. The fan base needs a bit of a lift after a crap week. If we can comfortably get a nice 2-0 win tomorrow with no issues, I think the fan base will be a lot happier. All of a sudden, then we go into a game that's got lots of sort of factors going into it in Arsenal at home. And I can see you smiling there, Nigel, because every single one of them. It's the London derby, it's under the lights, it's number 41 coming back. There's a lot of factors that go into that game. Of course, that's a cup game, and then back into the Premier League against, as you said, Nigel, a Brentford side that we don't do well against historically.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Arsenal game, to be honest. And we don't know what's going to happen there. We don't know if Arteta's going to put a weakened team out. We don't know what team Moyes is going to put out. But I'm looking forward to the reception for Rice, because I don't quite know. Yeah. I don't quite know.
Oh, I've got a feeling I know what it's going to be.
Well,
I've got a feeling.
I actually quite, I think he's a great footballer, and I said all along that, what, I'll follow his career. I hated it that he went to Arsenal. Uno's like, nah, he's done. He's getting booed.
He will get booed. He will. Right, just before we carry on, Fathead, thank you very much indeed for the £5 donation. Great content as ever, Jake. Keep it up. Thank you very much indeed for your support as well. Unrivaled, you guys are very good. Don't know where I'd be without you. Well, I wouldn't be here. I'd probably be sat downstairs watching a Saturday Night Football right now. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Of course not. Of course not. Thank you very much indeed, everybody, for your support. Right, some comments. Where did I get to? Peter says, has it been announced Mr. Potato Head and Bambi have signed new contracts yet? It hasn't been announced. No, it hasn't. Welcome home. Thank you very much. Flynn had a blinder for Southampton today. Good to hear. Good to hear, because he's had a bit of a tricky time so far. As of Southampton, it's been a bit up and down, but that is good to hear. Lone Star Londoner says, Hammers are looking to are vying for a third consecutive home league win against the Toffees, a feat they have not achieved since 1974. Yeah, I think we were on a cruise last time we played Everton at home. Was it a 2-0 win, I believe, last year? So at home, of course, we'd be expecting us to win this game. It's got no doubt in my mind that Moyes will be trying to instill into these players, Nigel, that this is a must-win game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, 60,000 people behind you. Do you know what I mean? Gives you a bit of incentive, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and let's face it, he's not going to make the same mistake, is he? He's going to put his strongest team out. Like I say,
and I hope that strongest team is the same strongest team that we're all thinking about. And I just hope it doesn't go and just chuck Johnson at left back or something. I just hope.
That's the only thing, and that position is the one, isn't it, where we could come undone. I haven't got Damari Gray, don't play for him anymore, does he? But he used to tear us a new one when he played. He always used to fire down that right hand side, didn't he? And he was quick, and so was Iwobi when he was playing for me. He used to get amongst it as well and upset us. But yeah, well, let's just hope that they stick to how they've been playing badly, and that we can step their game. After those two defeats, the players have got to be looking at themselves, and he must have instilled into them, you cannot be losing this game.
Oh, for sure. And that's my fear. We've lost 2 games. The dressing room is probably a little bit down, and I hope that Moyes has picked them back up, because this is a game that we simply have to win. Peter says, you must get noticed when you go on cruises and ask for selfies and autographs. Of course, no. Did see a few West Ham fans on the ship, which was nice. So that was good. Yeah, of course.
Saw him jumping over the side.
Yeah, after watching a Villa game, yeah. Peter says all we have to do is keep a clean sheet and score at least 1 goal. I mean, let's not forget, I'm concerned because I've just got a funny feeling Everton going to turn up and put a couple past us and sneak out quietly. That's just my gut feeling. But they've only won 2 of their opening 9 Premier League games. They're 16th and we're in the top half of the table. We still should have confidence, despite the last 7 days. We still should have confidence that this side can and should be winning this match. Of course, Peter, Crew's food vlogs have got to sit down and sort it all out at some point. But yes, there's plenty of food consumed, and it will not all of it, because that will be a very long vlog if I put all the food I ate in the last week in a vlog. But some of it will be in the Cruise vlog that will be coming to your screens over the next couple of weeks. I'll try and sit down and sort it all out. It'll be a mammoth effort. It won't be up this weekend, but I'm going to have to sit down, sort it all out, cut it all up, and bring it to you as soon as possible. Fornals is a total liability, unfortunately, and we have a lot of players who really need a goal. Just got a feeling we've got a lot of players out of touch, low on confidence, and that goes pretty much all the way across the squad, which is a worrying feat, Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, saying about 4-0's a liability, I don't think he's as much a liability as Paqueta, to be fair. I think Paqueta gives the ball away a lot more than 4-0 does. 4-0's he just doesn't seem to do anything anymore, does he? He just plods around, runs around like a just chicken. There's no penetration. There's no. But yeah, our passing's been it's been abysmal. We can't. We just can't find anyone in a West Ham shirt. That's been our trouble. We just give the ball away too easy, and we don't look like scoring. We're toothless. We're toothless.
We are. Let's take some more of your comments. See, the issue with this is St. Peter's big rebuild in the summer. I agree, but we keep saying this every summer. We've said that for the last 3 summers, which is not good. Big rebuild in the summer. We said that. And it seems to be new issues presenting itself to us every single summer. Rice was the issue last summer. Now we're already looking ahead to next summer, thinking we know already where we need to improve and get some bodies in that are going to fit the way that we're going to play, even if Moyes will be our manager. going into next season. Serious shift in tomorrow. Got to go and win against a team that has won just 2 games in the last 9 for sure. 2-2 between Wolves and Newcastle, but a good game. I knew I watched a little bit of it. Chris from Leicester Till I Die TV, big up Hammer. See you next season. It certainly looks that way. Leicester flying through the Championship with just 1 loss in their opening. Was it 14 games? I think I saw. So fair play to you, Chris. It looks like we will be heading up to the King Power again next season, which is good. QPR player sent off in that game, because it was quite tight towards the end, still 1-1, but they must have won, I think, which was good. Who do you want to win tonight, New Zealand? Is it the rugby tonight? I don't watch that crap.
Tonight,
Nigel,
tonight,
is it tonight?
8 o'clock.
Do you like your rugby, Nigel?
I don't mind it. I lived in South Africa, didn't I? So they were really heavy on rugby there. And so I got a little bit interested in it, and I got interested when we won the World Cup all those years ago, probably before you was born, Jake.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to undoubtedly the 2 best teams in the world clashing. There's always a little bit of rivalry there, isn't there? So there's that, and then there's the Fury and Ngannou fight after that. So
nice
little evening's viewing for us.
Of course. Let's have a look at some of your comments. I honestly see a 2-1 to Everton. Moyes won't change things, change anything, and Sean Dyche will outmanage him. I'm fearful of a similar fate tomorrow. I do hope I'm wrong, but yeah. Fab back on the bench. If not, and Arioli gets a knock, I wouldn't trust Anang. Yeah, Fabianski was ill Thursday night, I think I read. So hopefully he'll be back on the bench. So we've got that cover if needs be. Bowen, a certainty to score tomorrow. I expect a performance and a result. I think before, of course, firstly, let's get the result. Let's get the 3 points. But an uplifting and positive and encouraging performance would go a long way, I think, tomorrow, Nigel, as well.
Yeah, get the fans back on side, because there's been it's not been good for us the last week. And do you know what? I feel sorry for all them people. I went to all them European games last year. I haven't missed a European game for a long, long time. And the money that people spend going to watch these games, and just in general, just going to the home games and the away games, we deserve a little bit better to what we've been getting. So yeah, they need to pull their finger out and get us back on side, really.
For sure. Let's get a prediction then. What you thinking, Nigel?
2-0 to West Ham.
Yeah. A similar fate to last year at home, 2-0 West Ham. I'd be inclined to agree. Let's just put them to bed early, please, because the longer we wait, if we don't score early, they come into the game towards back end of the first half, nick one just on the stroke of half time, get one right at the end, 2-0, sneak out quietly. I just hope we can condemn them. And they haven't been very good so far this season. We've just got a feeling that they're a side that will turn up. But I've got confidence. I'm hoping that our key players can perform and improve. That's the main thing. I mean, Antonio, improve. Paqueta, improve. All of them need to improve, and we can't be sat there waiting for Kudus to come on and to change everything again, and relying on Kudus to be our saviour again off the bench. We just, that's not a good position to be in. Let's get a couple of goals up. Let's get a bit of confidence, and let's get 3 points back on the board. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win because you went 2-0. I was going to go 2-0, so I'll go 1-0. Of course I've got confidence, but I'm just a little bit concerned about the potential threat that Everton might bring as Sean Dyche, and the manner of the way we've played over the last 7 days, of course, hasn't filled us with the most confidence possible. Let's take some of your predictions and see what you guys are thinking. 3-2 says Dad. Peter says if he goes with the same lineup as last week minus Emerson, either 1-0 to Everton or 2-1 to Everton. So Peter isn't confident. 2-0 West Ham. Says Terry. Continues to bring your predictions into the chat. 2-1 to the Hammers, says Lone Star Londoner. 3-0 West Ham, says Lawrence. Lawrence says, sorry I'm late. I've been a bit under the weather. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're back to full fitness tomorrow for the game, Larry. But thanks everybody for commenting in the chat. Nigel, I'll go to you for the final thought.
Yeah, well, I'll be there early tomorrow. Get up there. I'm hoping that, like you say, Jake, I'm just hoping for a good performance. I'm hoping that, they're going to show us what they're capable of on a good day. And a win is a win. And a win is a must. And like I say, like you said, 1-0, 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. As long as we win,
yeah,
I think that's the main thing.
For sure. What's that phrase, Nigel? No rest for the. Is it no rest for the wicked, or have I just made that up?
Yeah, no rest for the wicked.
No rest for the wicked. I was up nice and early this morning. We had to get off the ship. We were home back from Southampton by 10:30. Be at Castle Carey train station 9 o'clock tomorrow. Get up to London. Get round. Hopefully the Elizabeth line's running, so it'll be nice and quick round.
Well, you there tomorrow, Jake?
To Stratford. We are, yeah. Paddington to Stratford. Get round. Hopefully watch West Ham win. Come back. Start school again Monday. Honestly, no rest for me. No rest for me. No, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, we will be there tomorrow. There'll be a match day vlog and some other content on the way as well. And Nigel, yeah, as we've said, I just hope for a performance and the 3 points.
Defo. Yeah,
so.
3 points is the main thing. Get ourselves back up in the top half, sitting nice and comfortable. And then the confidence should start to come back.
Yeah. And then, we've got the anomaly of a game against Arsenal where form and everything goes out of the window because there's going to be
comedy game.
Yeah.
Comedy game.
Yes, because there's going to be so many different elements and factors in that game. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we most certainly come to it next week. 3-0 to see. Chris has got confidence in us all the way down there in the Championship. See you next year, Chris. We love you. A sneaky 1-0, usual suspect. I most certainly agree with you from that one. So from me and Nigel, come on you irons. And we're just hoping for a performance tomorrow from the lads. We'll see you tomorrow for a game that, after the past 7 days is a very important game in the season ahead. So yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like and subscribe. And yeah, come on you irons, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you later.